All right, now we are inside the SF90 Stradale. And Stradale? Ferrari. Yeah, and this is the new interior. So the first thing that you'll notice is a lack of buttons. This seems to be the way that everything is going. And even the engine start-stop is now just a screen button thing. It's a capacitive touch, I suppose is what it's called. But I'm going to just give that, it's getting hot in here, so just sort of hold that there. And once again, I guess, no, and we're on. And that's on right now because we're, I guess, defaulting in H for hybrid, which is electric mode. You have these other modes here, so that's race, and then qualifying, and you can hear that the engine's like, okay, well then we got to start up. But hybrid mode is what you'll be in when you're just cruising around town. We have the Manatino as always here, and I just know this, even though it's not labeled, but I will move it. But you know, that's sport, this is race, this is CT off, and then one more is ESC off, which, you know, we won't be touching those last two modes. But sport and race are just kind of well, I love that Ferraris just start in sport. There's no comfort mode, they just start in sport mode. You got these very clever climate controls here. Again, this is all very straightforward, but it's all capacitive touch. You've got your passenger screen here, and they can control stuff here. And it's kind of it's in the middle. Normally it's like off to the end, but now even I can see it. And then you've got your mirror controls here. You've got voice command. This car has CarPlay and all that fun stuff. And once again, Ferrari has put everything on the steering wheel, which, you know, is a love or hate kind of thing. I'm kind of used to it, but I love the way this Ferrari steering wheel feels. Like the knurls for the thumbs here are perfect. You've got your shift lights, and they're the 812 style where they go blue when it's time to shift. And then, you know, I haven't even messed with this, but this looks like it's like a, yeah, this is for your, you got another capacitive touch, sort of like touchpad for your thumb here. And this goes through different menu options here and the things that you may want to see. The thing that's really amazing about this car is that it's pretty silent in hybrid mode, minus this sort of musical space age whirring sound, right? We've got, what is this thing called again?
Yeah.
It's got a name. It's got a name, but it's their sort of tribute to the gated manual, which, you know, was a very Ferrari thing. Obviously, this is not a manual transmission. I don't think it would even be possible to make this a manual, unfortunately. But as far as transmissions go, this is absolutely one of the best transmissions. I think probably the hybrid power like helps with that, helps with the gaps in it. Like it just feels non-stop and relentless when you want it to be. It's easy to manage the power. It's easy to find the gear you want to be in. And because you have so much power and torque on demand, I imagine with the electric engine, the torque curve is fairly linear and flat, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what gear you're in to some degrees. Like you will accelerate. It's just, you know, you'll either accelerate ridiculously fast or even faster than that, depending on the gear that you're in. And most importantly, it doesn't seem to overwhelm the suspension or the tires or the chassis. I believe we're on Sport Cup 2s right now, right? Yep. Which are very, very nice sticky tires, which is what you'd want for this much power. Over here, we have a cup holder. And it's in a nice spot. And look, a little
phone holder. Yep.
Phone holder there.
Nice.
Is this the key right here?
Yep, that's the key. So you can pull that out.
And is this what I think it is? Is this like the Roma key, or is that just the key?
That's just the key.
That's the key. They didn't do the Roma thing where you get the actual badge. So this is a completely different key. It almost doesn't look like a key, but you get to put it down on the bar, show everybody what you got. But this time, a little bit more subtle, right? This is a little more incognito. I like it. And as always, Ferrari loves it when you display their keys, so they give you a little display for it as you drive, which will keep it firmly in place. Car's CarPlay, we're not connected to that. We have carbon everywhere, which I'm guessing is part of this Assetto Fiorano pack, which if I open the door with this button here, you can see there's just carbon all over the door. This is maybe not showing so well, but this is carbon as well. This is matte carbon and gloss carbon, because you can never have too much carbon, and I genuinely do mean that. I'm not complaining about that at all. The interior is all fitted with carbon here as well, and leather. As you'd imagine, the interior of a Ferrari is always quite a beautiful thing. Are there any features on the screen that you could show us?
Yeah, there's some great stuff that you can look at. Also, the first car with a heads-up display.
That's true. I don't know if we can see. Let's see. But believe me, I mean, you can see the hole there. And for me as a driver, it's very visible and very useful. I love heads-up display. I absolutely love anything that will keep my eyes on the road. If I'm just having to refocus between the plane that I'm focusing on and not look somewhere else, I think for safety, that's important. And with how fast this car is, it's probably necessary.
Right. Yeah, on the screen, there's a bunch of different settings and a bunch of different views. So, for instance, there's a map view.
Oh, very cool.
And then there's also an additional map view with your acceleration. You get your charge, your boost, and then your torque.
Oh, so you got everything that you need. That's awesome. I probably should have that.
The original display, and then you can customize that display by swiping on the trackpad for your main. So you have your radio, your main. You can have your map as your main, or you can have the performance as your main.
Okay, wow. Yeah, so it's very customizable. Do the different modes affect the...
No, because we have it set to performance mode.
Okay.
Instead of Corsa.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I mean, like, the one thing about the screen, so I don't know if this is obvious here, but it's slightly curved.
Yep.
You guys have done a really good thing because Porsche totally messed this up with the 992s. You can see all of it while you have your hands on the wheel. And the screen quality is phenomenal. Some screens nowadays are very washed. I don't know if they're just using like older like TFTs or whatever, but like whatever panels they're using, but they're very washed out. This has a lot of contrast. I hope this is coming through on camera. And what it does is it looks kind of like a gauge, especially if you're just glancing to it. You can see everything very clearly. You can see if there's sun, you know, obviously you've got your little hood here to help see it, but like all the screens here seem to be like that next level of high quality. And I think if you're gonna have a screen, you need it to be like of the utmost quality. So very, very good job done there. I feel like Ferrari, you know, this is like I was telling you earlier, like this is one of the first sort of new interiors, because that interior that's been shared with a 458, 488, F12, A12, all that is basically the same. It's largely been unchanged since what, like 2009, 2010. And it's maybe small iterations. And this is new. The Roma also has like this very new, similar style kind of thing going on. And
Forgive me, I didn't understand what you said.
Oh, this thing keeps thinking I'm trying to talk to it. No, we're good right now. But despite it trying to talk to me, it's a lonely computer system. This is just a quantum leap from the other one, and it really feels like you're in a cabin from the future, which I'm a big fan of. I like things like that. I feel like they finally refined the controls on the steering wheel, where, you know, Ferrari's philosophies have everything on the steering wheel, so you don't have to take your hands off the wheel. I'm personally a very big fan of that, and now you have absolutely everything. But it's all very straightforward. You've got, you know, one of my favorite things is like your flashers are like, here's like in a race car, you can flash people. They won't get out here on the road. But yeah, I just think like this is just, they're just iterating at better and better interiors and cabins. You know, it's probably not the most spacious, but it's also not cramped. And if you're tall, you definitely, I have a ton of headroom here. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on in this car. The driving position, you know, I think about it, I didn't even really adjust anything. It was pretty much perfect. And I love the Ferrari driving position. I love having the wheel arches there, sort of showing you where your wheels are, and you can sort of see down in front of you. The driving position is just very, I really think driving position is a huge part of confidence when you're driving on the road, because if you can't see, if you don't feel like you're kind of in the action, as it were, you're not going to drive very well. The rear view is there, I suppose. You're going to use your side mirrors, or probably, as the guys at Ferrari would tell you, just drive faster, so you don't need to look back there. That's probably the only real compromise of the cabin. The rest is just so, the visibility is phenomenal. And, you know, I hate to say it, but I have driven mid-engine cars with worse rear views than this, so this isn't even that bad. Maybe I'm just spoiled. Anyways, that's a quick little overview of the interior of this car. It's just really, really cool. Thanks for watching, guys.